What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Family, there are some dusty things going on in the world today that I really cannot explain, primarily because I am a dust bunny myself, but this is something that is very interesting, to say the least. Now, I grew up in the 90s where a player by the name of Dell Curry was on the Charlotte Hornets. Had no defense, but man, was he a great shooter. Spent some time on the Supersonics. You know, Dell Curry was just, like I said, back in the day, he was hitting them threes. Raptors, I believe he spent some time on the Bucks, but I remember him more or less on the Hornets. All right, he won the NBA Sixth Man of the Year award. Again, he played absolutely no defense. He was one of the worst defenders of all time, but he could shoot the hell out of that ball. All right. Now that brings him to Sonia Curry. Now he went to Virginia Tech. So did his wife. He's born in Harrisburg, Virginia, and his wife played volleyball. Now they had a friend. Okay, this guy by the name of Steve Johnson. They were all friends. Here's interesting, right? Steve Johnson's white wife got divorced. Dell Curry, Sonia Curry get divorced. What does Steve Johnson do? He gets with Sonia Curry. What does Dell Curry do? Gets with Steve Johnson's ex-wife. So a black couple, a white couple, change partners. You cannot write this in Hollywood. This is crazy as hell, right? So Dell Curry, remember, he got a lot of animosity from the Curry brothers. Steph Curry took the mother's side. Now he does show up to games, and they both show up to games all the time. Okay, but here's what happened. Dell said, "F it. I got me a white woman. I'm light skinned anyway. I'm going through with it." Okay. Sonia Curry is with the white husband. Now I want to talk about this because Dell had an interview about the divorce. He says this: "Yes, it's great talking about the divorce. I didn't know what I was going to do after the divorce. I thought about going to the West Coast. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to follow my sons. I'm going to stick it out. Hang here. And then I had friends who introduced me to my wife now. I'd met her a couple times. We talked on the phone for a month before I laid eyes on her. I'm like, oh, I like this girl, man. What's going on here? I wasn't going to get married again, but life is great right now. It couldn't be better for me. I'm at a great place in my life. My home situation is sound. My kids and their families doing great. They're happy for me. I'm happy for them. So life's good." Look. So hold on. He said, "I never thought I was getting married again." Okay, let me deal with that, right? I want to talk about this in black men. I've met many black men who've been married to an African-American woman. In fact, me and Dr. Tiasan Johnson talked about this before. Dr. Tiasan Johnson said and Dr. Tiasan Johnson is a very adamant pro-black. He's professor of black masculinity studies over at Fresno State. And we had a discussion about a lot of black men getting married to black women in the diaspora. So if they had an African-American wife the first time, the second wife is a Ghanaian or a Caribbean, not African-American. Okay. These are people who are more intact with the community. And I'm seeing that here. I'm seeing so many brothers wanting to deal with women from Uganda, Kenya, something like that, right? Okay. Now, with that being said, here's what I'm seeing now. I hear so many guys saying, "I'm never getting married again." And when they say that, I know what they mean. Want to know what that means? I'm not getting married to somebody black American from the community ever again. Why? Never again. I know so many black men that will say that. When they get married again, they will say, "I'll get married again," for the most part, if the person is not black. Now, I wonder where that is. Now, I was listening to the lead attorney the other day with Corey Holcomb, which I'll be covering that too. And a lot of guys, once they are young and they grow up in an African-American setting, and I think this is what happens with a lot of black men, they get to experience a different side of, let's say, I want to call it love, right? Because in the black community, when you have a black wife, look, if your wife wasn't, let's just be honest. If your wife doesn't want to cook or clean, that's normal, okay? Your wife don't want to have sex, that's an American thing, but that's normal too. Your wife don't want to support you, encourage you, and you see a lot of white women doing this for black men. Like they go out to their flag football games. They're taking care of stuff. Some of them, in comparison to the black women in America, they're apt to do that. Black men cannot get that a lot of times in the community because you kind of like, hey, you know, this is normal. I don't really need this, don't deserve this. I'm making a lot of money anyway. I'm kind of just taking care of her. And then when you see these other ladies of the community, you see them putting a lot more effort into the relationship. You're like, whoa, wait a minute. Where was this at for me? Why don't I get this level of, you know, concern for my ass? You know? And I'm gonna be honest, man, I had a homeboy. He was married to a Polish chick. And your boy almost was getting ready to sell out. I'm not gonna lie. I thought about it. I met this lady, my homeboy, he had a wife. And, you know, which is interesting because they ended up getting divorced after a certain while. But, you know, the wife was doing X, Y, and Z. The wife was, you know, and I was like, damn, man, this is what like marrying somebody out the community is like. At the time, you know, I wasn't looking at that everybody got problems, but I was like, damn, this seems to be okay, not too bad, you know, like hey, you know, it seems like, all right, they got something going on here. You know, she seems to be, you know, really supportive of him. She seems to be, you know, really wanting to be in the relationship. And then, you know, when black men start, you know, going that route, man, it is hard for them to come back. You know, because when you get older, man, you want your peace, man. You don't want to be arguing and fighting with people. And that's probably what it is. And again, the lady is not exceptionally beautiful like Sonya Curry. She was better looking when she was younger. But he's not trying to get with no young chicks. He's looking for a woman that can keep some house, okay? Let me tell you what I mean. Keeping house. This man wants a woman that is going to be cool to be around, all right? He's not looking for no woman that's going to be a problem. He's not looking for no woman that got to have an attitude with him. He's looking for a woman that wants to be a wife. He's looking for experience. A lot of men, when they get older, they're not out here trying to chase no booty with no young chick. They're looking for somebody who's stable. And this woman here looks to be like she's somewhat stable. And a lot of black men take this route. And when they do, you know, a lot of names are being called, and I get that again, but everybody ain't pro-black like me. A lot of these black men want a woman that they can plug into the system. You know, you black women out there, you want a man that's rich, that has everything going. Well, some of these black men also want, you know, the same thing for them. They want somebody that can come and plug and chug into the system just like you, period. And a lot of y'all don't like that, but that is definitely true. Definitely true. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Drunk. I appreciate you for all you do, Bill. We're out.